Hello, everyone. This is the end. I am never going to bother you again after this, other than to grade these final things. You don't even get feedback on them, it's just the final assessment. Initially, this was labeled as the COMM1085 in class assessment. We obviously can't do that. So we're going to just migrate that online. If you were in my courses before we all left, you already knew that we were doing this online because why the hell would we ever have this type of assignment in class? There's no point whatsoever. Um, if you were also in my classes before, you know my disdain for this assessment. It's such a Mickey Mouse thing, but we got to get through it. It's worth 10% of your grade. It's done in the exam week. It's not labeled an exam because it's not worth enough of your final grade. It's kind of just fluff, to be honest with you. I usually just tell students get through it as much as you can. I'm going to try and give you as high a grade as I can, but you have to put me in a good position to do that. So the logistics are pretty simple on this thing. I am going to be opening this on April the 18th. That's a Saturday. So you're receiving this video lecture thing on Monday. You'll watch it throughout the week at some point, hopefully. And the quiz will open on Saturday morning. I think I have it opening at midnight or something like that. So you'll have it right away. It will be open for 5 days. So I have it open from the 18th right through till the 22nd at midnight. So right until Wednesday at midnight, you'll have access to the quiz. Now, the thing that you need to note is that there is a 3-hour time limit to this thing. It was originally supposed to be an hour. I think the faculty has shifted that because it's online to 2 hours in case you need it. I just say to hell with it all. I'm going to give you 3 hours. It doesn't really matter how long you take. Just note that this is the only time that I can't manipulate the time limit, in the sense that before nothing happened when the clock struck zero. That's not going to happen this time. What's going to happen is at 3 hours, you're done. So don't dilly-dally with this. It shouldn't take you 3 hours, but say you decide that you're going to go off and have food or whatever. For those of you who are in my classes, when we're talking about grilled cheese, don't make yourself a grilled cheese during the exam. Do it either before or after, whatever. But the luxury that you do have here is that you have 5 days within your exam period to sit down kind of whenever you have time and just get this thing done. Block out 3 hours of your day at some point between the 18th and the 22nd. Do the quiz, and then you're done with it. Chances are this should take you under an hour. So if you block off 3 hours, you have 2 hours to undertake whatever activity you desire. I know you're busy with school, but you probably just don't need any more free time. This isn't going to help you fill too much time, to be honest with you. This thing can be found under course tools on Econestoga in our course shell, under quizzes, and it's called the final assessment. You can't miss the thing. It's not possible. But I will leave this for a second and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, this is one of our course sections for the semester. You're probably not in this if you're in 56, 57, or 29, but it looks the same no matter what. I've set up the course shells exactly alike. You're going to see all kinds of this stuff, but what you're looking for here is actually the final assessment. It's right here. So when I open this guy up, you're going to see something a little bit different, but here's the master sheet. You're going to get 4 multiple guess questions, and there's going to be 2 short answers. So let me explain what that looks like. There are 4 multiple guess. They're not rocket science. Literally, if you made it to any class this semester, you should be able to answer these quite well. They're the only part of the exam that I don't control, unfortunately. So you're kind of on your own in terms of the mark. Either you get it right or you don't. They're pretty simple though. You got one is about thesis statements. What's a thesis statement? The overall main idea of the argument, stuff like that. It's nothing complicated, which is why I say this is kind of the Mickey Mouse of all assignments. It's my least favorite. Drives me bananas every single semester. The last two answers, though, I control. I control the grade. I can get you as much as I possibly can with the answer that you give me. So focus your attention on the two short answer questions. The first one is terrible. It kills me every single time I see this question. I thought they would have taken this out at some point. They didn't. Never did. It's still in there. It's a reflection on your growth in COMM1085 this semester. It baffles me that this is a question on this type of exam at a college level, but sure. Most of you are going to bullshit this. I'm fine with that. Make me laugh on this. You can have some fun with the question. I am expecting you to have like paragraph format though. What I suggest is actually go back, especially in like your proposal or outline feedback, and then maybe even compare that to the final paper submission feedback that you just received. And look at some of the things that maybe I pointed out. You know, things that you were maybe struggling with that turned out really well in the final or whatever. You can play with that quite well if you have my feedback. So in terms of, you don't have to bring in source material or anything, but bring in some of my feedback for that. So you can prep for this quite easily. You can go back through your feedback, have a couple really stock answers ready, just in terms of, oh, how have I grown? And then just put it together in a couple paragraphs. You can have some fun with this. Please have some fun because I have a ton of these to grade. I have to read through them all. They're going to drive me bonkers. The reflection on the readings is similar in the sense that you're going to have a list of all the readings that we did for the quizzes this semester. Again, in a couple of paragraphs, you just have to maybe pick a point about what you've learned from the readings and elaborate. Now, this is a really bad one too because, well, quite frankly, the readings were terrible. There was nothing great about them. Many of you probably didn't learn a whole lot from the readings themselves. It was more the process of working with the readings. So yeah, you could BS this one too if you wanted to. It is what it is. I say choose like at least 2 readings to show that you've got a grasp on at least a couple, but don't try to tackle them all. Frankly, I would rather see you have a very focused discussion on a couple of articles or something that you learned from them or didn't learn from them. If you're going to be sarcastic about it all, I'm fine with that. I would rather see the focus than have you kind of the sprawling taxonomy of all the things that we discussed. Forget it. Doesn't matter. I would like things to be focused for both of these questions, the reflection on your growth, your own personal reflection, and the reflection on the readings. I would like probably 2 paragraphs is what you're looking for. Anything less than this, you're probably not elaborating enough and putting me in a position to give you a high grade. More than this, and you're being way too ambitious. There always seems to be somebody that tries to give me a 4 or 5 paragraph thing. My gosh, I do not want to read that much at the end of the semester. I'm as tired as you are. A couple paragraphs in and out, keep it focused, keep it concise. You should be good. When I'm grading these, I'm going to be super liberal, trying to get you as many grades as I can. I'm looking for a topic sentence that guides the discussion, that really focuses your argument for that paragraph. I'm going to be looking for tangible examples from the resources. So if you pick a couple of articles from our course information page that you want to go back to, so whether that's, the iceberg one or the proposal one or whatever, you can bring examples in from those, even if you're just talking generically, to help you build analysis, because the analysis is where all your marks are going to be concentrated. So if you have questions between now and Saturday or even into next week, please let me know. There's no feedback for this type of assignment. I just kind of give you a grade. I've already said my goodbyes and thank yous and whatever in the feedback for the final paper anyway. So reach out if you need anything. And then otherwise, just good luck on your exams. And you definitely heard from one of my cats in this video if you listen closely enough. So by all means, have a laugh on me. Talk to you guys later.